What is up, my shlimes? So today I decided that what I was going to be learning was going to be basically, one of my friends has done these herself, her nails by herself, like acrylic nails. Just doing the damn thing with a natural pink acrylic powder, liquid monomer. I basically just got the same stuff, not exactly the same, and wanted to do my own fake nails today. So that's what I'm gonna be learning to do. I've done it with her before, but only with her instructions. So I'm really actually doing this for real new today. And in the process, I kind of wanted to talk about love. This felt like the right thing because I'm kind of doing a little bit of a self-love activity for me. So I thought we'd get into that process today and what love means in different aspects, and kind of how I came to my answer. So let's get into it. Shlimey time. Okay, so I figured I would get into opening everything before y'all had to watch me do that and look silly trying to. And just getting everything set up. So first steps first, I'm gonna go through the steps that I know of, and we'll see if it works out, if I remembered everything right. So first step is to cover not all your nails, just one at a time while you're doing it with primer after you have kind of sanded, a little abrased the nail beds. So I'm gonna do that, and then go ahead and get some liquid monomer on your brush. Dip it in there, get a little ball of bead of the powder. Press it onto your nail wherever you like it, or into the nail piece that you're gonna put on, and then hold it there for 30 seconds. Get rid of the excess. That's really it. But now we can get into the love aspect. So for me, I think of, at least if we go with romantic love, my definition of romantic love happens to be something along the lines of really being invested in another person, truly appreciating them for who they are, as in how they present in the world, not how they add to your life. I think a lot of times it can be really easy to only look at the benefits of a relationship rather than the aspects of the person. Do you truly love being around that individual, or love what they give to you? Love what they provide for you? And if that's the case, you might be needing to look at basically what you're not providing for yourself, because then you wouldn't need that relationship or love that relationship nearly as much if you were to ever, let's say, change or upgrade and not need whatever it is that you were getting from them in the first place. So romantic love is very different from a lot of the other kinds of love that one can experience about in their life. That being friendship love, platonic obviously, family love, which I feel is also platonic but in a kind of different way than friendship, and really just kind of daily, I guess, interactions with people where you just appreciate them for who they are. I would call that kind of a universal love, where I don't just hate everybody. My experience thus far with romantic love have not been exactly what I would want them to be by my definition. And by that, I mean that I've run into basically my own problems in romantic love. Oh no, I don't feel like I put on enough. I did not put on enough. Okay, hold on. Try that again. I've been running into my own problems in relationships. The relationships themselves didn't work out, or didn't pan out the way that I was imagining they would, because I was basically relying on them to provide me my own self-worth. And that doesn't work.
That's two things in this house that won't work.
That doesn't work at all. In fact, you end up relying on that person for everything, and they end up resenting you, because that's your job. It's your job to love you, and it's their job to supplement that and to love themselves so that they can love you. I've now learned that, but it is a difficult lesson to learn, and one to even see needs learning. So I encourage everyone to really look at themselves in the relationships and kind of see why it is that I like this. Why do I like this person? Is it that this person themselves, or is it how they make me feel? Can I provide that for myself if that's the case? And when I'm done figuring that out, does it still fit for me to be with this person? Is this person still the one I want to be with at the end of the day, if I can provide these things for myself? True love comes when you just want that person around. And they do, in a way, provide for you. Love is transactional to a degree because you provide and prove love through action and word. I got it finally. Look at that. I can't say that it's perfect, but it is definitely better than the first time. I feel like this one might be a little wide though. Might be a little wide. I'm gonna have to change the other hand or something. But let me see if that one seems wide over there. It doesn't seem wide over there now, but maybe it will. I don't know. But yeah, love is transactional to a degree. It is definitely a situation in which when I provide for myself, I am giving to me. That's what I imagine that as. That's how I visualize it. When it is another individual, they are also giving to me in terms of support. It doesn't have to be just financial. It could be emotional support. It could be financial support, obviously. It could be physical. They are there. They give me hugs. They support me in that way, There's lots of different ways that a person can give to you. And if they are taking away from your existence, your life, your happiness, then that transaction isn't equal. You're likely providing for them way more than they are providing for you. And in a relationship like that, you get drained. The problem with that is that I think a lot of people would like to help others. I think a lot of people also don't realize that they are not loving themselves when they stay in relationships that hurt them or drain them because they want to help the other person or change them in some way for their benefit. I'm sure. I'm not going to say everybody's out here just trying to be mean and turn everybody into them, but it does become problematic when you really kind of make your life centered around another because you can't provide for yourself. So I think I'm doing it, guys. I think I'm doing it. Look at me. Look at me. Okay. That one looks a lot better than the other one. I'm gonna say that. I'm not sure that these are going super well though. Like they're on, yes, but they're not amazing. I did get these nails from Shein, so they might look good from far away, but I guess we'll see at the end how I feel. I think of the way that we present in the world, the way that we manifest, the people that we bring to us, those are basically representations of the energy that we are putting out. And I don't want that to be taken to mean that, oh yeah, I deserved this bad thing. This is happening because my energy said I wanted to be dumped or cheated on or whatever. No one's saying that at all. What I'm saying is, though, there are some things that we aren't fully aware of, unconsciously, that's in the back of our heads. We may have learned these things, had these beliefs, had these mindsets, whatever, from culture, from society, from parents, friends, whoever. But sometimes there are things that we don't really particularly pay a whole lot of attention to that do affect how we proceed through the world. Did I put the primer on? Guys, did I put the primer on? I don't know that I did. I feel like this one might pop off because I don't know if I put the primer on. No one's to say that you are to survive life on your own, but you do need to be able to provide your own support when you're feeling low, because they can't do it all the time. They can't be there at every second to emotionally regulate for you because you never learned as a child. There's lots of different things that we tend to miss as children because of our parenting, them not knowing what is needed, them not getting what they were meant to receive as well. All of that comes into play when we are thinking about love, because the way that love is represented for you in your life, in your society, your culture, does kind of dictate, for the most part, how you're going to envision love and what that looks like for you, and how you'd like it to be presented in the world for you, to an unconscious degree that you might end up liking people that are a lot like daddy, which is like a thing that people say. Yes, that phrasing that girls tend to like or go for people that are like their fathers. That's an unconscious familiarity attraction, basically. And it's true. It's a real thing. Unless you are deliberately choosing who you would like based on values and what you want in life and all of that, sometimes, a lot of the time, we'll go with what's familiar, which is why it's very dangerous for us to just, I guess, unknowingly, or let's say almost in a dreamlike state, or unawarely. That's not a word either. I'm saying things, and you know what I mean. So if you were to walk into the world unaware of these things, of the things that you think about you, the things that you think about the world, the way that you fully feel about yourself, if you're not aware of all of these things as you move into new relationships, other relationships, your relationship is going to be very difficult, I will say, for you to navigate. Mostly because the relationship with yourself is not exact. I'm flipping and flopping. The relationship with yourself is not solid. You can't build a relationship with another individual if you don't understand the relationship you have within yourself. So earlier I was talking about energies, and what you put out is what you get, essentially. And what I mean by that is this part of it, where I almost forgot the primer again, guys. This part of it where you end up kind of succumbing to unconsciously the things that you've been taught, the things that you've been shown are correct, are the proper way of, what, did it dry? Oh my God, it dried already. No. I took too long explaining things. But anyways, yeah, it's this part where you are essentially succumbing to your unconscious visions of what love looks like, of how you're supposed to do it. That could be even just in communication. That could be in the way that I solve problems. I yell. If that's what your parents have done, and that's what you've seen as the signature of solving problems and how to be in a proper relationship, maybe they stayed together a lot longer than maybe they should have, or then was beneficial for them as a relationship, or for you in the relationship. Maybe that to you says love. If I just stay, that means I love them. That's dangerous for you in life, because you are deciding that unhappiness, as long as I stay, shows that I love that person. And that doesn't work out for you in the end. This is one hand done. I feel like a powerful bitch. Okay, let's see if I can get the other hand even on. I don't even know how I feel about this right now. Take a good look. at my power. I always feel like I should be grabbing an apple and evilly laughing when I have nails on. That means you figure out what your hobbies are. That means you, ooh, this brush came from Dollar Tree, guys. I pulled off some of the fucking brush while I was trying to take off the extra stuff, the stickiness. I am not doing the best job. I told you this was new. Yourself and develop the relationship with yourself first before you can actually love anybody else to the degree that you would need to be loved, or that you would like to be loved, that you should be loved, you deserve to be loved. I try to avoid using the word should a lot of times just so I can avoid the slight judgment that comes with it. Because when you're like saying I should be doing this, you're saying that I'm not doing that thing, but I'm supposed to be, essentially, which does say, oh, oops, I'm not doing something I'm supposed to be doing, which gets you to go, oh, yikes, I feel bad about that, essentially. So I try to avoid using should as much as I can, but it's also just all throughout the way that we talk here. So you will hear me say it, and I will say it sometimes on purpose to emphasize things, but also I just say it because it's hard not to. So you guys help catch me too. Like I said, I am in the process of learning life and unlearning things. And in that process, you do need to learn to love yourself. I've been doing that for a while now, a couple of years actually, because I did not start out as this beautiful, effervescent bitch that you see here. I was definitely still effervescent and full of life and love and everything, but definitely not confident. I did not love me. And I think that was a major part of why my first relationship didn't work out. Both of us did not love us at all. It was a mess in that respect. Not that, you can ever go back and change things, because life happened the way that it happened on purpose. I was meant to learn my lessons, the things I needed to know about me, and why I was reacting to things the way that I was, what that meant to me, where did that come from, how do I heal it, all of that stuff needed to happen and is happening still. It's a process, guys. I don't want you guys to ever think that you need to heal and then go, okay, cool, it's been like 2 weeks and why am I not better now? Because it doesn't happen that way. The time period where you wake up to, I want to work for me, I want to work on me, be better, whatever that means. That means I need to look into me and figure out how I'm going to live life according to me. That's what I would say is a spiritual journey, not just, oh, I meditate now and, I do tarot cards. That's not the spiritual journey to me. It's discovering yourself. And that's what this whole thing was about. That's what I feel like self-love is about. Now that we moved from romantic love into self-love, you can't really do the romantic part. Damn. That was a truck. That was an old ass truck too. They trying to prove something. So, yeah, we went from romantic love into self-love, and the fact that you cannot do the romantic part well, effectively, unless you are doing the self-love part, right? So that means, like I was saying before, figure out what your hobbies are, what you like to do, how do you invest into yourself. You should figure out why I respond to things the way that I do, because it is not the other person's fault that you responded to something the way that you did. It is their fault for how they said it, what they said, sure. And maybe it did trigger something in you, but that doesn't mean it's their responsibility to deal with. It's not particularly your fault that you responded the way you did either. Let me get that straight as well. Like I said, you have to be awake and aware to do anything about the way that you respond. Damn it, I don't think I got enough juicy. I didn't get enough juicy. You have to be awake and aware to change how you respond to things. So if you're not paying attention to why you're responding to this way, you won't be able to change the pattern. You have to go, okay, what's going on in my head? What did I just think to myself? Why does that matter to me? What does that say about me? Why am I responding this way? This thing has something to do with me. That's why I'm responding so heavily. So like, I can give an example, and this will probably be the end of the video, so you guys can get back to your regular lives. My example would be, I wasn't feeling supported in my relationship, and I would sit there and just like talk to myself like, man, this boy is over here just acting like everything's fine. Like literally, why can't you not just say that I'm pretty and like talk to me more? Why can't you just fucking just do things that are simple and easy? It's not fucking hard, you know? Talking to myself, being upset. And then I sat there and realized but I sat there after complaining to myself for maybe like 5-10 minutes and was like, oh, that's because I'm not supporting me. I stopped meditating as often as I had been. I stopped stretching as often as I had been, which is really good for my body and my mind. I feel really good after I stretch. I also feel a lot less emotionally charged, as in like it calms me down, and it does it for a reason. That's a thing that you just stretching and yoga and all that energetic release can do. So I had stopped doing that. I had stopped really paying attention to my mental state, doing my little self-care days, things like that. And that was why I was feeling more unsupported in that moment and noticing my lack from him in that moment because of that. Because I wasn't supporting me. And that's not his fault. That's for me to deal with. Yes, I could still use more support in that moment. More of like the type of support that I would like, and I can let him know that. But the feeling that I was having, I had to handle, because that was my doing. That was my doing. I can still address it for sure with him and ask for a different method of providing the support. Ta-da! This is the finished result, guys. But it's up to me to change how I feel in that moment and decide what I want to feel, where I'm going to get that from. That support, I have to decide where I'm going to get that from. If it's going to be another person, I'm going to be reliant on him forever. I can see this piece of edge not wanting to go in. Okay, but I did the thing. Now y'all know, in summary, if you're going to love anybody, it needs to be you first. And that's for good reason, because otherwise the kiddos, the people in your life, everybody else is going to get the same type of love that you give you. And if you're constantly berating yourself, if you're constantly putting yourself down or not investing into you as a human on your own, you're not going to be investing into the other people in your life, and they're going to feel that. If you want beautiful, thriving relationships, the relationship with you needs to be just as solid. And that's really it. Okay. Peace out. Oh yeah, wait a minute. You guys, give me your questions. Whatever you got. I think that would make this a little bit easier of a process if I was just answering questions from you guys rather than kind of just coming up with a topic that I want to speak on and just doing that. So you give me questions and I will speak on those. Whatever you got. And that could be just a little about life, and I'll answer it in terms of like if you want to know about me, or if you want to know about how I've tackled a situation or a difficulty, or just like what about femininity and masculinity? How do I deal with that? What's up with that?
What's the deal with airplane food?
So yeah, give me whatever you got, and I'll do my best to tell you what it's like for me. Okay, bye guys. Bye my shlimes.